Pateks.
So where do you keep these watches?
I have a safety deposit box in Hatton
Oh,
Garden.
okay. And is that where you show people the watches?
No,
Like when
I have an office in Hatton
okay,
Garden.
okay, okay. And how do you know how to check for these watches? Like, how did you train yourself to know if this is real or not?
Again, you can only do that with experience. However, because I'm in probably the jewelry district of Europe, uh, or the jewelry capital of Europe, I'm very privileged that I can run it to somebody, or I can have someone in the office pretty quick that is an expert that can check. And that is the only way I'd say the best way of checking is to get an expert, look under it and a glass. Because to be honest with you, they're bringing out extremely good fakes and replicas. It's amazing. I've been blown away a couple of times. It ain't even the watch that you've got to look out for now. It can be as much as the dial. Like we had a problem once upon a time where I bought a Panda Daytona, stainless steel Panda Daytona, if you know what that is, and somebody had swapped the dial and put an aftermarket, which means it's not legitimate from Rolex, Panda dial in it. So originally it had a black dial, but somebody's put a Panda white dial in it, which added £10,000 value to the watch. It's gone through 2 or 3 hands and ended up coming back to me. But these the people I sold the watch to, you could say, "Oh, do you know, they never changed it," because I sold it to friends and I know like how it left, and we've got photos on it exactly. And somebody actually changed the dial, and it went through 2 or 3 hands before somebody even noticed.
Wow. So they're taking
Parts, yeah, pretty
out of
much,
these
yeah,
watches.
yeah,
Wow.
and replacing that with a replica. So your watch is real, but dials can vary. A dial in a Rolex, especially a couple of years ago, could be the difference between 20, 30, 40,000 pounds, maybe more sometimes. The same watch, different dial, 20, 30,000 pound more money, maybe
Wow.
more.
Wow. So what's your favorite watch?
Date 840 Rolex
Okay. And
TBR.
yeah,
Mm.
I'm sure one of my editors will put that on the screen right
Yeah.
now. Um, if somebody's thinking of buying a watch right now and they're
Mm-hmm.
thinking, look, I want to buy a watch as an investment. I might have 15, 20 grand to invest in a watch. What would you be investing in right now?
Yeah, anything between 10 and 15,000 pound at the moment. It's a very volatile market. Um, they're selling and they're doing good. To be honest, I genuinely believe they're going to go back to where they was at some point. I don't know when. I think once all the wars have stopped in Ukraine, in Palestine, when all this has calmed down and the world becomes, I don't think it'll ever be normal, but a lot more settled place or settled for a while, I think that will help. And the prices of watches will go back up. And at the moment, they're at their cheapest. If you're looking to buy a watch to invest in, now I would say is the best time. Listen, who knows? We could wake up tomorrow and they could drop.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say now is a good time to invest or to buy one.
Which brand?
Rolex. Rolex is very safe. AP, beautiful watches. When the dip come, they got hit hard. I believe that I believe that one day they was just going to go pop. We've seen this before. With Frank Muller was very popular in England. Now you very 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 rarely see one. But Rolex, I think Rolex are pretty solid. That's where I'd put my money anyway.
Well, thank you for that.
Or Patek.
Patek, yeah.
Patek's good.
You come from a gypsy traveler community.
Mm.
And even I was in the gym this morning and I went, so one of my friends was talking to me. I was talking about the podcast and he goes, who you got coming on today? I said, I got this guy called Alfie Best.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he's from this background. He goes, I'm from that background. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. One of the things I want to talk to him about is, he's converted to Islam. And he goes, oh, what? Like, what? Has he met a bird then or something? And I was like, no, I think he actually, had a few friends or what. I want to find out really what got you into it. But he was in sort of disbelief. Do you know what I mean? When you see like Tyson Fury in the ring, the first thing he says, my Lord Jesus, Savior Christ, sort of thing. And it's like a big community around that. What made you sort of, go into Islam?
Cut a long story short, I've said this story a million times. It's a very good story, actually. So my friend reverted, and we was going to his mum's shahada. She was going to take her shahada. I said, "Can I come in and see what it's all about?" I went in there and I felt an amazing feeling that I'd never felt before. I asked the imam that I had met on that day for a Quran. I took a Quran, I started reading it, and I really enjoyed it. I read it twice, and after I read it twice, I went and took my Shahada. But I was very compatible with everything that was in the Quran. I um, was very impressed by it, and ever since I've done it, it's helped me an awful lot. Have I sinned? Do I sin? Yes, of course, but I will get my head on the floor and I will pray and I will ask for forgiveness, and hopefully on my day of judgment, that's enough. And I want to spread peace in the world. That's what Islam's about. It's a beautiful and peaceful religion, and I'm very compatible with that. If everybody was like that, the world would be a better place.
Mm. Do you pray 5 times a day?
Not 5 times a day. I try to pray as much as I can. I try to pray as much as I can and when I can. And do you know what? There's not many days that I don't pray 5 times a day. Let's put it that way. But I don't pray 5 times a day every day. Sometimes I miss them, but I do try and make up for them. I do. My intentions are 100% to do it. If I miss it, it will be due to because I'm carried away doing something.
What do your family think about it?
At the start, they was curious more than anything, but there was, again, it come out of nowhere. It was a little bit of a flash. We've never really been religious people. I've never really been a religious person. Like I was a Christian before, but I'd never ever gone to the church once unless it was for a wedding, christening, or a funeral. But they listen. Anybody that actually thinks something of you and appreciates you, they will not care what religion you are. If it's making you happy and making you feel like you're doing better and making you feel like a better person, then they should be happy for you and they should support that.
And what about in terms of the community? Like, you have reputations, people talk, the traveler community has a big, like, if do people look at it and go, Alfie's changed his religion? Like,
But I don't care about my reputation. Like I say, the people that would be saying that would be people that don't care about me. So why would I care about someone that don't care about me? Why would I care about their opinion? There's loads of people that's talking about that, and the only reason they're saying that is is a disagreement in opinions. That's why they want to go and say whatever they want, or scream that I've done this, or I've whatever it may be that they want to say that I've done because they disagree, they don't believe in Islam. Well, that's up to them. But I don't go around screaming to anybody or saying, "Oh, your life's bad," or "You're a bad person because you've done this," or "You've disgraced your family." I leave people to get on and do what they want to do if that's what makes them happy. But again, I understand being a public figure and in the public eye and being very successful. People have got your name in their mouth, and if they want to shout it, they can. It was for some people, it was a great opportunity to talk about me and think that it would offend me and it would bother me when at the very, very least it didn't. What was super special was the welcoming I got from my Muslim brothers. Now that made every bit hate because I got some stick on social media from a lot of people. I still get it now. And I look at it and think to myself, you're calling me all these names and a disgrace to my family simply due to a disagreement in opinions, right? My beliefs, I believe in the Quran. The Quran has helped me an awful lot. There's so much in the Quran. Now, I can't tell you what it is. I'm only a student in this religion. I'll only ever be a student, and I'm always looking to learn. But I've been pointed out and I've read it, right? There is stuff in that Quran, which was written 1400 years ago, that scientists have proved it to be right 10 or 15 years ago, like it was written 1400 years ago. Now, I can't give you an example now. I should have prepared myself better, but I couldn't give you an example now. But I tell you what, if you was to go on Google and they would come up with 20 or 30 that what the Quran has written and actually happened all these years later. The war in Palestine is pretty much written in the Quran.
Do you fast?
Yeah, every Ramadan.
Okay.
To be honest with you, so that's a good question. Everybody knows because I'm very open about it. So last year was my first Ramadan. I ended up missing 4 days, and this Ramadan, so I spoke to the Imam about it because I had to take some tablets, right? And I said, "Oh, is that sweet?" He's like, "No, you broke your fast. You might as well eat." So I was like, "Okay, no problem." I said, what's the score? Have I ruined the whole Ramadan now?" And he was like, "No, that's fine. Just make sure you go back, fast as many days as you can. Whatever days you don't do in Ramadan, you can make up for, but you've got to make up for them before the next Ramadan.